Hello friends, welcome to my second tutorial on programming in Linux series. So in the last tutorial, we had an introduction on Linux. In this video, we are going to learn some basic and most commonly used Linux shell commands. Now if you are new to Linux and listening the word for the first time, I recommend you to watch my previous video to get started with Linux. So let's get started with commands. Now shell is a computer program which has been written by Linux developers. Linux systems generally use a shell program known as bash. Bash takes in commands as input and performs a task as output according to its algorithm. Bash shell commands has many important and useful commands coded in it. In order to pass these commands to shell and execute them, we need a CLI environment. Generally, they are command prompts. They are called by different names like terminals, consoles, command prompts, etc. In Kubuntu, the terminal is known as console. Here I am opening the console. Now this is the environment in which we will be passing commands to the bash. Now if you are a student, you need to know the address of your home and the name of your parents. Likewise, in Linux, we need to know in which directory we are currently working on. So in order to know the current working directory, we will pass a command known as pwd, which stands for present working directory. Now as you can see, it returns the path of the directory in which you are currently working on. That is, here I am in home and Kotaprolu Manisai, which is my username. So if you need to know the contents of the present working directory, you need to pass the command ls, which stands for list out the files or contents in the directory. Now as you can see, in Kotaprolu Manisai, I have all these directories and this file, but this is not it. There are some hidden files and directories. In order to see them, we need to command ll. Now ll gives all the hidden files, directories and configuration files. All these files starting with dot are configuration files. And it also gives some additional information about the file permissions. Now these are the file permissions and the username and the date when they are modified or changed, and the size of the file or directory. Now here you can see rwx, and these are the file permissions given to the particular file or directory. Here the first three parameters rwx stands for the permissions given to the user, the currently working user, and the next three are given to the administrator of the computer, and the last are given to group if there are any groups in the working computer. In order to change the directories, we have a command cd. Cd stands for change directory, and we can give any directory name to change. For example, here we are going to documents. Currently we are in Kotaprolu Manisai, and we need to change the directory from Kotaprolu Manisai to documents. So we type in the word documents. In Linux we have a feature that is auto completion. If you type some of the content and press tab, it will automatically complete the it will automatically search for the desired directory, and it fills in. Now as soon as I press cd and documents, you can see in the prompt we are entered into the documents directory. Now we can press pwd and check the current working directory. Now here you can see we are in home, Kotaprolu Manisai and documents. Now in order to get back to the parent directory, which is Kotaprolu Manisai, parent directory is nothing but the directory from which we entered into. In order to get back to it, we need to press cd and dot stands for the parent directory. Now we can press pwd and check where we are. So now here you can see we are back in Kota Prolimansai. Now in order to know the system properties or the current system details, you can press the command uname. Uname gives all the details about your computer. That is, we are using Linux now. In order to get all the details, we need to press uname space -a. -a stands to give all the details of the computer. Now here you can see we are using Linux, and this is my computer name, and we are on Ubuntu, and the date when we manufactured, when we started, and the type of processor we are using. And here we also have, in Bash also gives a very important command known as man, which stands for manual pages. We can see the manual page of any Bash command by using man space. We can give any Bash command like ls. This gives the manual page for ls. If we press this, we can see ls. The name ls stands for list directory contents, and here are all the options which we can use with this command. This is the option, and this is the description for it, and here are many more options. We can read all these things and use these commands more efficiently. And we can press Q to quit. We are back at the command prompts. Now we can, if you see, the screen is currently messed up with all these folders and these things. In order to clear them, we can pass clear command. Clear command clears the screen, but they are not erased. If you scroll up, you can see them, but clear makes your screen more clear. That's it, I think so. Now we also have a command known as which. Now which command shows the location in which the command is stored. Like example, which pwd. Now this says that pwd is in #bin #pwd. And we also have cat. Cat command opens a particular file. If you see, here we have examples.desktop file. In order to open that, we can use cat command. Cat examples, and we can press tab to complete it. Now these are the contents of the file. There is nothing but a basically configuration file for the desktop, and we can clear the screen by using clear. And we also have a command known as cpmv. Cp and mv, these two are very useful commands. These are nothing but copy and move. If we see ll, these are the files. Now in order to copy a particular file from one location to another location, we can use this command cp space file name, which we need to copy to another location, and the location. For example, here I have x input rc, and I need to copy that into pictures, which is this directory. In order to do that, we need to press cp .x input. You can press tab to complete it, and the location where you need to put it. I need to put it in pictures, and you can give another name for it, or we can put the same name for it. I am giving another name as input. If I press enter, the file is copied to that. Let's see. We will go to pictures, and if we press ls, see, we can see that there is a file named input. Now if you don't need that file, you can delete it using the command rm. Rm stands for remove. We can press rm and the file name. Now if you list out the command, there are nothing. That is, the file has removed. Now we are going to the parent directory. Now other command is mv. Mv is also same as cp. It moves the file from one location to another location. For example, let's see, here we have .vimrc. We will move this file to templates. To move the file, we need to press mv, file name, and the location where you need to move that file to. We are moving it to templates. Now the file has been moved. If we go to templates and list out the contents, see, we have .vimrc. Now .vimrc is not displayed when we press ls because it is a configuration files. Configurations files can be displayed only by ll. Now we remove this file here. Now the file has been removed. Returning to the parent directory. Now the another command is for creating and removing directories. For creating a directory, we have the command mkdir, which stands for make directory. We can make directory mkdir and directory name. For example, Linux. We cannot give spaces while giving directory names. It treats as two different directories are being made, and it creates two different directories. So I am using underscore tutorials. Now if we see, Linux tutorials is created by mkdir. Now in order to remove Linux tutorials, we can use rmdir Linux underscore tutorials. Now if we list out the contents, now we can see the directory has been removed. Now we also have some text editors currently inbuilt in Linux. There are many text editors. Some of them are Nano, gedit, and vi. Now in this tutorial we are going to look only at Nano. Now Nano is a text editor, and it is used to type any programs, and we will see how to make a text file. Now we are going to we are currently in Kota Pro Manisa, and we are going into pictures. Now there are no files in these pictures. Now we are going to create a file known as text.txt. As soon as we open a new file, the environment changes to Nano, and we can see the program name and the name of the file. Here we need to type the data, and we can save them. Now for example, hello viewers, welcome to my tutorials. Now if we need to save it, we will exit, and the editor will prompt us to save or discard the changes. Now if we press Ctrl X, save modified buffer. As we need to save that, we will press yes for Y, and press enter. We need to name it as it is. Now if we list out the contents, we can see there is a file named text.txt, and we can open the file using the command cat, which stands for concatenate cat text.txt. As you can see, this is the data we have saved in it. And all the other editors also work in the same way. In order to remove this thing, we will remove this and list out the contents. And man is a very useful command, so I suggest you to watch the manual pages of all the commands that we have seen here, and learn the different options which are given to them, so that we can use these commands more efficiently. Thank you. That's it for this tutorial. And then the next tutorial we are going to install the compilers and start programming in C. And we are also going to have an introduction on C programs and how they are executed by system. And that's it. If you like the video, press the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.